In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Crypto fam, it's your boys, CryptoKeeper, and as always, BlockchainCrusader. We hope everyone is doing well tonight. Miguelito, ¿cómo estás? How are you, brother?
Good, man. I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm super excited to jump into this Magic Money Monday. Guys, if it's your first time here, first of all, we just want to say welcome. We're super excited that you're here. If you've never been around on a Monday nights are a special night. We do a little bit, talk about the news, whatever, but we like to be very chat interactive. So let's just get it popping. If you're new to the channel, drop a 1 in the chat. If you're an OG and you've been around for a little while, drop a 2 into the chat. Just let us know that you're here. Like Miguel said, let's blow up this chat. And listen, the other thing that you can do besides blowing up the chat to let YouTube know that you love us is you can hit the like button. Literally, it's very simple. If you're on mobile, just X out of the live chat real quick. A lot of times people ask how to do it. X out of the live chat, hit the like, come right back in, and then you can get right back into the conversation. Real quick before we get started, guys, just as a reminder, we are giving away 1 full year of Market Cypher. All you have to do, be subscribed to the channel, right? The second thing that you need to do is get into our academy. Without going too far into it, ultimately, we are teaching so that you can make better decisions as it relates to your crypto portfolio. I know a lot of people are scared right now. A lot of people are struggling. If you want to learn some technical analysis, if you want to learn really what this thing called crypto is, we've got Crypto 101. That's multiple videos. It's continuing to grow. Guys, we would love to have you. And then we've got, the Telegram chat is popping. We got a lot of people in there talking and really doing constructive. One of the things I like, Miguel, is how constructive the talks are, right? It's not even just straight up crypto chat. It's people picking each other up and saying, hey, look, I've been there before. I know what you're going through, and here's how I dealt with it. And I think that the mental clarity that you either do or don't have as you're struggling or even not struggling in the crypto markets, I think is really important for your overall health of your portfolio.
You need to be part of a like-minded community to thrive, right? If you don't have anybody in crypto in your life that you can talk about in crypto, you are limiting yourself, right? You need to surround yourself with people that are talking about crypto every day, thinking about crypto every day, just like you are, to bounce ideas off of, to consult different ideas. Like, hey, I heard about this. What do you think about that? Right. And that's what we're here for. We're here to bounce ideas off everybody. Everybody bounces ideas off us and each other inside the community. It's definitely very, very important for you to continuously educate yourself and grow in a space. It looks like we're losing Nick here for a minute, guys. So stick with me here as Nick is. Boop, he's back. He's back, guys. He is back.
Hey, let me change my name here real quick. You hear me okay? So
yeah,
I will
we're
tell you,
good.
hey, chat, listen, that was 100% my fault. I had listen, we're getting ready to move soon down into the studio that we're going to be building in my basement. And right now I'm on the opposite end of the house as where the main modem is. And so I really need to figure out hardwiring it. But right now I'm running on Wi-Fi, and if I'm on the wrong network, it kills it. So at any event, without further ado, I apologize about that. Miguel, what's on the podium?
Started, right? So we're gonna be talking about Ethereum. We're gonna be talking about the market as a whole today, right? We saw that crazy wick down to 39. We're like, is this it? Is it over? Right? Everybody was at the edge of their seats, like, we're about to go to zero. So we're going to be covering that, guys. We're going to be showing you a little bit of TA, should give you a little bit of comfort of what's happening. And we're going to be covering Ethereum, right? Gary Gensler, right, was asked a question about Ethereum being a security, and there's a little iffiness in his answer. So we're going to be covering that.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to go over that because ETH is my baby. Let's start out. Let's just jump in here. Let's just check out the overall macro market. We are down to $1.94 trillion on the overall global crypto market cap. That's down 1.03% over the last day. Okay. Bitcoin just about flat, but right now it's green, baby. we're at 41,867. ETH just under 3,100. BNB about 426. Solana about 135. Cardano at $1.15. I see, guys, when I see all of this red, I see one word. It starts with O and rhymes with opportunity. It's opportunity, guys. I know that you're probably super confused there and didn't, weren't able to rhyme or figure that out. But yeah,
nobody got the dad joke.
Nobody got the dad joke, right? Guys, it is ultimately opportunity. So let me flip over real quick here. I want to flip over to the actual Bitcoin chart, guys. For those of you that don't know, or if you're newer to crypto, Bitcoin right now is what runs the market. It is the leader of the market, and most of the rest of the market really does follow pretty daggone close. Yep. So I want to pull
always
up a
has
chart
been, always will be.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree that it always will be, but for right now,
you can hate on it all you want, but you can't beat it.
Hey, I'm with you. So I want to show you something really interesting here. So if you look closely, I've got two trend lines drawn in here. Okay, this is a daily chart. We're going to show a couple different charts, but I want to show you first. I want to show you the daily. Okay, we have a pattern. This is called a falling wedge or a descending triangle. Either way, ultimately, it is a bullish pattern. Generally, statistically, and actually I can zoom in a little bit here. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Statistically, we will break bullish out of this falling wedge or descending triangle, right? And so ultimately this falling wedge, we statistically, again, will break north. Now, there's something else that's telling me that I think we might break north of this. Not just that, but we have Market Cipher, which again, we're giving away a full year of for being part of our academy, debatecrypto.academy. But down below, we have a green dot on the momentum wave. It looks like the momentum wave is starting to move up. And we have another green dot below, which actually confirms. What is that telling us? That's basically telling us that, hey, we should have upward momentum and there should be some trajectory upward. If we go back and look at the double green dots before, this green dot gave us a little bit of a run, right? These two, when you're chopping, it's really hard. But when we go back a little farther and we look at the last couple green dot, like double green dots, boom, double green dot here, huge run, right? And it actually started down here, huge run up. We keep going a little bit farther back.
Chart up.
What's that?
Bring up the chart so people can see that. If you just click on it, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't realize that it was down that low. But ultimately, these double green dots. Let's see here. I didn't know if you could see. Let's see the last big one. It's been a little while.
Crypto Rodfather. That is the daily chart. Yes.
Yes, it is the daily. I was trying to see if we had another. You know what? Some of the green dots with the confirmations just give you little small run ups. Actually,
they're not always a massive run up. They just confirm.
Exactly.
They're just confirming that we are going in the upward trend.
Exactly. And then the last thing I want to show as I get back to wherever the heck we are on the there we go.
You got to close up the candles and scroll down.
I just was trying to scroll over. So the last thing that I wanted to show as I butcher this TA here is I wanted to show the RSI. And the RSI is at about 25. That ultimately is on the uptick, though. We're actually moving up. And the RSI at 25 means that it's incredibly oversold, which generally, can stay there for a long time. But generally, as a general rule, means that we are going to be at some point soon headed in the other direction. And I'm hoping for that sooner than later, because as many of you know, I am still in. I have not been closed out. I have not been liquidated as of yet in my ETH 5x long position that I ultimately have done everything that you shouldn't do in as it relates to
he's been digging a 6 foot hole.
I've been carrying the shovel with me, and every time I get in trouble, I just dig a little bit deeper. Ultimately, though, that shovel, I'm going to be able to plunge it into the top of the hole and use it to
bring all the sand back in, and then just cover himself in the grave that he's been digging.
Hey, I want to real quick, Danny, thank you very much for the super chat. Danny, and guys, if you are looking to make sure we see something, we do have super chats on, and that supports the channel, so we appreciate it.
But so Danny,
taking a moment to thank y'all for being the men you are. Your channel is unique by allowing us to have a voice involved in the channel. Listen, Danny, we appreciate you, man. We all,
100%, man.
you know what? When we started the channel, I do want to say, part of what we wanted to do was exactly that. We wanted to involve the chat. We wanted to involve people, even as we, grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's harder and harder to keep up. We try to keep God first and at the center of who we are and what we do. And I think an important part of that is recognizing that it's you, the viewers, that ultimately give us the platform that we have, and we want to respect that and bring you guys in along for the ride because it's fun,
Exactly,
and
guys. And I just want to say, I want to see some energy in the chat, right? I want to see the chat blowing up, right? Drop me a 1 if you've been buying the dip, right? We saw Bitcoin drop below 39. A lot of people thought it was the end, but were you buying the dip, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you were buying the dip. Drop a 2 if you said, no, I was going to wait for it to go lower, right? I'm not buying the dip just yet. So let us know in the chat, guys, if you bought the dip or not, right? We have come back from that 39K level.
Yep.
Back up above 4. We're still not safe. I believe we won't be safe until we are past 52K, guys. So we can go up all the way up to even 49, even 50. But if we don't cross 52 and some change, I can't remember the exact number, we will not, and close up above there, right? Not just wick above it. We are not going to be in a confirmed upward momentum established just yet. So things can get rocky for the next couple of weeks. We could go all the way up to 49, come back down. We don't know how low this can go, but
we are definitely
we'll keep an eye on it.
We are definitely chopping along. And one of the things that you will get with this channel, if it's bullish, we're going to tell you it's flat out bullish. If it's bearish, we're going to tell you things are flat out bearish. If it's undecided, kind of like the market is right now, right? It's bearish overall, but we have some indecision with how we're chopping along. We're going to tell you that because you're going to get nothing but what we see in facts.
It's crazy, right? Like we're seeing some bearish momentum happening, some price action happening in crypto, right? We have the looming interest rate hike over everyone's heads, in the back of everyone's mind, right? People are scared about that. That's coming up in March, supposedly the first one, right? There's going to be 3 in 1 year, which is a lot for the Federal Reserve. So they're going to be doing a lot of paperwork, something they've never done before. They've just hit the the money printing button before. So we'll see if that's going to happen or not. But that has got people freaking out. But we also are seeing good bullish on-chain metrics, right? We just saw a mining company up in, I think in Canada it was, they bought like over, I forgot how much Bitcoin they bought, like 40,000 Bitcoin or something like that, something crazy. They bought a bunch of Bitcoin. We've seen other huge whales, right? Whether they're ETH whales buying Matic, buying Ethereum, buying Matic. Well, no, they were buying Matic and they were buying something else. I forgot what the other one was. Chainlink. They were buying Chainlink. We're seeing a bunch of whales actually buy more Bitcoin as well. We saw a huge investor today, guys. A huge investor by the name of, I think his name is Bill Miller. Literally said he put 50% of his portfolio in Bitcoin. That came out today, guys. Today, 50%, right? Most people, most millionaires here, Kevin O'Leary, all these other people, they put 2, 3, 4, 5, even 7% when they include like their altcoin positions and everything. This guy put 50% of his net worth of his portfolio into Bitcoin.
It makes sense if you ask me. I mean, ultimately, long term, that is going to be, in my estimation, a winner. And what we are seeing right now is a lot. You know what I did is a lot of positive price action in the. And what do I mean by that? Because everything's been chopping along. What I mean by that is this morning when we dumped. Actually, Miguel, you and I were on the phone the moment, because it happened quickly. But you and I were on the phone this morning when that price dumped down to about 39 and some change, right? But here was what I was encouraged by. Now, these were probably, like orders that were already in the order book, but that's not the point. What happened was it dipped down with a huge wick and immediately got bought up. What does that generally tell? That generally tells the whales, that generally tells the institutions, hey, we might have found at least for now, at least temporarily, we might have found that floor, because literally they tried to push that down and it got eaten up immediately and came right back up. I
Yes.
think that is super important to see, that the bulls still have some control in the market, and those type of indications are what we look for to see, hey, do we have a good opportunity to spin this back around? And that was one of the things we saw this morning. I was super excited to
Yeah,
see.
and not just that, right? But the fact that the RSI is at like almost all-time lows, right? At lowest levels we've seen in a very long time.
It was like a 10. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
below 10. It was below
yeah,
10. So it was like it's only been there a few other times, right? In the past year or so. So extremely, extremely oversold. There is seller exhaustion. They cannot just keep dropping forever. So we
that's right.
could see some some consolidation here in the 40s for a while before
Yeah.
ever trying to retest that lower 39 or lower, right? Maybe we don't break below 39, and maybe 39 is like I was in May, that 20K level, which we just could not break below no matter
Yeah.
how many times we tried. And we attempted about 2 to 3 times, I believe, to
Yeah.
break 28, and we couldn't. This could be that next floor too, right? And
Yeah.
there's
The
also
market.
some sorry to cut you off, but there's also some stuff that I saw about Bitcoin marginal production price, right? Shout out to Joshua Jake. I saw it on his TikTok,
Mhm.
talking about that it's basically somewhere around the 29K level, and factoring in some other things, the entire price overall is around 40 something, right? Low 40s, high 30s for
Mhm.
Bitcoin. So the price literally cannot drop too much lower. And
Yeah.
it also makes sense that that's why we're seeing so many whales and big institutional players, or millionaires coming out and buying Bitcoin, right? They're buying Bitcoin at these prices. They're not going to be in a loss for very long, right? They're not going to be
Yeah.
putting their money somewhere where they're going to be in a loss. They're always trying to make the next play that's going to make the biggest boom. They're only going to be willing to take a small loss for a small period of time and
Yeah.
hold it there. So
I agree with you. Sometimes they'll go underwater for short periods of time just to wash out some of the paper hands, just to see how low they can push it, maybe even accumulate some more, make money on some shorts on the way down, and then push it back up. But I want to shout somebody out here real quick. So says I'm new here. Saleh. I'm not sure. I probably butchered that. I apologize if I did. Sana Saleh is what I think that is. I'm new here and I'm buying the dip. I want to shout you out, because
you're
being
a
new in the
brave one.
crypto space, yes, being new in the crypto space is scary, right? When I first got into crypto, the volatility, I came from the stock market and I came over and I was like, holy mackerel, what is going on over here, right? I was talking to my dad tonight about the crypto space and how the stock market actually was down. I think the Dow was down like 11% or something like that, and that is massive in the stock market. And then my dad casually was like, "Yeah, but I mean, I've been paying attention to some of the crypto stuff recently. 11% can happen in like a day in crypto." I said 11% can happen in like a minute in crypto. So I just want to shout you out, because it's tough. It's counterintuitive to buy the dip, but we talk about this all the time. Buying and averaging that position down, i.e., buying the dip, long term will, I repeat, it will help you succeed. Too many people do the opposite. They see green candles, they get all excited, they buy the pumps, and buying the dips is how you win in these markets. So just wanted to shout that out. Well, let's jump into it here. Let's talk a little bit about my girlfriend. That's right, Ethereum. So let me pull this up here. We
Let's get it.
ultimately have a couple things we want to talk about here, but this is the first thing that I think is super bullish. There was some talk about 50% of global financial transactions might involve Ethereum in 10 years, hedge fund says. So let's check this out. Joey Krug, co-chief investment officer of cryptocurrency-centered hedge fund Pantera Capital, which, side note, guys, Pantera Capital is massive, okay? They're a big player in the space, has said Ethereum has prospects of becoming an integral player in the global financial system. In an interview with Bloomberg, Krug projected over 50% of all financial sector transactions might involve Ethereum, citing the asset's underlying technology. He stated that despite Ethereum facing competition, the platform's position might go unchallenged, citing aspects like minimal trade-offs. Here's what he said. He said, there's too many trade-offs other chains are making that Ethereum is not making on the decentralization side that are pretty important. If you roll the clock forward to 10 to 20 years, a very sizable percent, maybe even north of 50% of the world's financial transactions in some way, shape, or form will touch Ethereum. He said, according to Krug, before Ethereum achieves the milestone and shakes off competition, the ongoing network development will play a key role. Now, he goes further into this article and talks a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but he goes further into the article and basically talks about how as Ethereum moves over towards proof of work, it's going to be a big. There's going to be a change, right? I'm sorry, proof of stake. I said proof of work. As we move over to proof of stake, it's going to be a big change in the network. And basically, ETH is going to have to perform. It's going to have to still do what it's been doing. We're still going to need to be able to build on top of it. The transaction speeds are going to, if nothing else, need to get faster. The prices and gas fees need to get lower. It needs to perform. But here's what I want to say and why I love this so much. There's a reason. Listen, everybody can complain about the gas fees, but my girl right here, there's a reason why everybody has been building on her, because she works. Okay. There's always drawbacks. If you've ever had a girlfriend, a wife, a friend, boyfriend, whatever, right? That person is not perfect, right? That's for sure, right? Well, I want to tell you that it's also for sure the same thing as it relates to cryptocurrency, as it relates to fiat currency, as it relates to your governments, as it relates to anything in life. If there's a positive, there's a negative, right? And so the negative with ETH is two things, really: speed and price, right? And the gas fees. I mean, ultimately, other than that, there's the reason so many projects are building on top of is because the EVM, which is the Ethereum virtual machine, it works, right? And so I believe that moving forward, as we move towards some big decentralized finance moves that I think are going to be happening as we get farther and farther into the cryptocurrency, into the blockchain space, Ethereum being having that first mover advantage, a network that actually works and is decentralized. I think it's just got and it's got the most people building on it right now. I don't see how it doesn't continue to take market share. Short of it just absolutely shutting down when we move over to proof of stake, I don't see how it doesn't continue to grow at the rate and touch 50% or more of finance.
Yeah, everyone's biggest thing is that the competitors in Ethereum, right? And Ethereum does have competitors, but it has the largest market share, right? Apple and Samsung are the two largest. They have competitors in the space outside of Samsung and Apple. They're not taking them over, right? They're not kicking them out, right? There's always going to be a few people that jump off and go to a different competitor, and that's fine. That's competition. That's good for the market. That incentivizes Ethereum to say, "Hey, we gotta keep getting better and better." Right? It's not time to slack off. If Ethereum had no competitors, then Ethereum could say, "Well, it doesn't matter if Ethereum 2.0 takes 6 years or not. It doesn't matter. There's nobody out there that is going to push us out of this market space." But now that they have competitors, they're like, that Ethereum 2.0 can't take 6 years. That's got to happen soon and real soon, because we can't slack on these other guys, right? Not because that they're afraid, but it's just an incentivizer to keep improving all the time. Solana, right? Guys, Solana, Solana can make you money, right? Because people are comparing Solana 100 and whatever it is right now to when Ethereum was 100 and whatever. But the market cap, the tokenomics are not exactly the same as Ethereum. Solana does not have the infrastructure built that Ethereum does. So no matter what, Solana's price will not overtake Ethereum's price anytime soon, right? Ethereum's got NFTs, DeFi, all these things. Solana just started. It's got a few NFT projects. It's got a few things going on, right? And it's been going down. It keeps having performance issues. It cannot keep up. It might be quick, right? But what do you want if it keeps dropping out of the network all the time? It becomes unreliable, it becomes untrusted. And as a
Yeah.
person that is putting money into a network, whether it's DeFi or whatever, you don't want your money getting locked up and stuck and dropped, right? You would instantly leave that service. If you were paying for Netflix and Hulu kept dropping all the time and having network issues, you're like, screw this, I'm not gonna pay to be on Hulu. I'm just gonna watch Netflix, right? So same exact thing is happening with Solana. The Ethereum has competitors. It's a good thing to have competitors, but there is no competitor close enough to overtake Ethereum anytime soon.
And I have another thought real quick that I want to piggyback on that. You're exactly correct. And I think what people don't, I've talked about this before briefly, but I think what people also don't recognize is that Solana actually isn't cheap. Solana is very expensive on the developer end of things, right? So on the front end, right, before it gets to the end user, which I know what people are thinking. They're thinking, well, that's not going to affect me. Well, actually, it does, right? Because when things are expensive on the front end, right, for me, a business owner, when things are expensive for me to purchase materials, right, when things are expensive that I have to come out of pocket on the front end, that does at some way, shape, or form get passed on to you, the end user, right? The other thing is, it's that front end, it's that developer, it's that big dog in the space, right, that leads the way. And if they're looking at a network that is super expensive for them to operate, whereas they could go somewhere else and it's a little bit more expensive or a lot more expensive for the end user, but they don't have to put that capital in on the front end. I'm telling you, as a business owner, that's at least a conversation at a minimum. And Bobby was asking about a couple other. That's fine. I was just
I
gonna.
want to say this. I completely agree with this statement. Except ETH is not Big Daddy. Bitcoin is the Big Daddy. ETH is the queen, right? But not the Big Daddy.
Right, not the king as of now.
As of
Bobby, this is a great question. What are your thoughts on other blockchains like Hyperledger, Corda, et cetera, for financial institutions to build on these versus Ethereum? Here's what I'll say, Bobby. I actually don't know specifically information on Hyperledger and Corda, so I'm not going to get anything deep on that. Here's what I will say. The institutions, especially banking institutions, are going to build on what they can profit off of and feel secure using. So if something comes out that is able to benefit them and their end user to be able to incentivize people to go and use their bank, to use what they have to offer, that's what they're going to go with. But I will tell you right now, with blockchain being new, this newer technology that's being built on everywhere, they're going to use the tried and true first, because it's had longer to actually prove itself and show, hey, we're doing our thing here. And until it doesn't need to be dethroned, but until you show me a better wheel, right? Until you show me something better than what we currently have, we're going to continue to use what works. I see you grinning, Miguel. What, go ahead, pull it up.
I was grinning about the financial institution stuff. In my opinion, they can suck it. I don't care what they use. They can all go extinct tomorrow, in my opinion.
Yeah,
anything that benefits them, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from. But the facts are, we are not going to live in a world of pure decentralization, as much as it sounds fantastic.
Only if you comply. Only if you comply.
It just won't happen. We run into this problem for the end user on, Matt, here's the reality, right? You like its OG status functionality, but being relatively new to crypto, you do everything possible to avoid related to ETH due to gas fees. Well, you know what? The facts are, in a backwards way, that's actually bullish, okay? And I'll tell you when it's bullish. It's bullish for a bunch of wallets that hold just a little bit of ETH, $1,000 or less, because guess what? The gas fees are expensive enough that it encourages those people that have a small amount, $1,000 or less, right, to hold that ETH. And here's the deal. At the point that we move over to proof of stake, the EIP 1559 has helped. And if you make the transactions at the right time of day, and I want to tell you, you're kind of new to crypto, if you make the transactions late at night, I'm going to tell you right now, it is significantly different, right? Smash a 1 in the chat if you have made an Ethereum transaction that has been relatively inexpensive, $10 or less. Smash a 2 in the chat if you've never tried to actually make a transaction on ETH at a different time during the day, because I want to tell you guys a little secret, little known secret. Different time of day, different end result, and that's just a fact. So I want you guys to remember that. You literally have a constant like crap eating grin on your face.
I'm watching the chat, dude. I love it. Sean goes, I'm guessing Miguel is a huge XRP fan. Yeah, guys, huge fan, number one status fan. And then I got another one over here. Danny, seriously, only in Bitcoin? No, I'm not only in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is my biggest holding in my portfolio, but I am not only in Bitcoin. I do hold ETH. I do hold Litecoin. I hold Chainlink. I hold there's a few other ones I hold. I hold Polkadot. What else do I got? I got a Cardano as well. I forget. Guys, I never look at my portfolio. That's my secret sauce. I never look at my portfolio and what I'm actually holding because I just don't want to live with that stress.
If you know what, if the game plan is like yours is, Miguel, on a much longer, just really focused on the long term and not worried about the short term price action, A, keeps the blood pressure down. B, and trust me, I am well aware because I'm terrible at that.
I'm assuming that's why you got all your grays. You're always looking at that thing freaking out, right? Because I remember my first year in crypto, 2018, I kept buying and looking at my portfolio go down and down. Dude, I started to get some grays, and I was like, I can't live like this. Right? I was losing sleep, worried late at night, like, oh crap, like, am I gonna lose all my money?
Well, actually, speaking of losing sleep, let's talk about somebody who makes me want to lose sleep or makes me lose sleep. He just makes me cringe. SEC Chair Gary Gensler sidesteps question about Ethereum status as a security. All right. SEC Chair Gary Gensler, he's a snake, by the way, today didn't give an answer on whether or not Ethereum is a security, but he did say that if someone or something is raising money from the public, it could potentially meet the definition. We don't get involved in these types of public forums talking about any one project, one possible circumstance, or give legal advice over the airwaves that way. He said on CNBC when asked whether Ethereum, the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap, was a security. He then added that if you're raising money from the public and the public is in anticipation of profit based upon that promoter, sponsor, that group efforts, that's within the securities laws. Listen, it goes a little further down here. It kind of explains about how the SEC previously said that it does not consider Bitcoin to be a security, but has weighed on other cryptocurrencies, obviously XRP, that's going on right now. Here's kind of what I'm thinking, right? I can't come up with any sort of a way where you consider ETH anything but I can't see you considering ETH a security. Okay. Now, the reason that they're going to argue that people will argue that it is because they had what's called an ICO. And that back in the day was an initial coin offering. Okay. And essentially what would happen is these would be offered to what they're going to argue is that, hey, listen, this was offered to the public, right? Here's where I think they're going to fail. It really needs to be promoted by a third party, by a third party entity, right? Well, Ethereum is overall pretty decentralized, right? Just because it was offered doesn't mean that it's being promoted, right? Because Bitcoin ultimately totally meets the standards of not being a security. I think ETH is right on its heels. I mean, yeah, the ICO is the only thing that I believe that they can actually point at.
But that was many years ago, and then now.
Side note, hold on. Side note, ETH right now, drum roll please. We are at. Let me update this right here. We are at 31. Oh, well, hold on a second. This isn't jumping as high as I thought. Well, no. It literally. Coin market cap is quirky. I think we were like at 3180, or at least I thought we were up to like 3180 at any of them.
If my boy ain't moving, your girl ain't going nowhere.
Not always, but yeah, I hear you. That's generally the
Ethereum, right? It's a lot more decentralized now than what it was back then, so they can't really make that argument anymore for it.
They'd have to
So
look
ETH,
backwards to
yeah,
get to
ETH,
argue
ETH,
that.
ETH is pretty solid in my opinion. And there's been other people in the SEC that have said that that Ethereum is not a security, that it no longer fulfills those roles. It has no issue, right? The thing with XRP is that it is ran by Ripple, right? It has that company attached to it that will always keep it as a centralized point of force and as interest in the coin to make the coin successful. So that's why they can be easily attacked. Um,
Yeah.
and that's the big thing about a lot of these other cryptos nowadays that I don't really like about it. That I don't really like is that a lot of these cryptos are just companies. They're literally are companies, and a lot of
Yeah.
them probably are securities because there's literally a company attached to it, and
Promoting and
they're
yep.
promoting their project, right? Making all these deals for their project to succeed, and talking to these other corporations and governments and whatever to get their coin going. And it's like, dude, that's a company, that's a security, that literally you have something going on behind. Nobody is in representing Bitcoin and going to make deals for Bitcoin, right?
That's true.
It's literally it just is what it is. If you like Bitcoin, you like it. If you understand it, you understand it, and you bring it on. But a lot of these other cryptos are not like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Chat, do me a favor. If you are in the live chat, X out. If you're in mobile, just X out real quick. Smash the likes for us. Let YouTube know you like what's going on here. We appreciate that. That helps. That just helps tell YouTube that you love us because we love you. Let me just say, Sean says I'm starting to think Gary Gensler may not be a crypto supporter. You want to know why I have a problem with that, Sean? Because he literally taught crypto at MIT? Was it MIT?
It was at some big university. I don't know where it was.
He taught might have been Berkeley. Listen, it was one of those,
Arizona
one of
State.
those schools, right? One of the bougie, high dollar, really hard to get into. What?
You're
What?
telling me it wasn't like Arizona State or something?
Is that are you like
That's like
trying to
that's a huge party school. That's just like a huge
Well, yeah,
like
yeah,
bougie party
exactly,
school.
exactly, exactly. I didn't know Arizona State was a huge party school. I know Ohio University and Ohio State because I'm in Ohio, right? Huge party schools. But ultimately, what I'm getting at is he literally went from teaching crypto to being the biggest freaking crypto hater around. And my problem with that is it's not because he doesn't believe in crypto and it's not because he doesn't understand it, but the things that he says, right? Exactly. He's a puppet. The things that he says and the things that he does, right, don't line up. I've heard some of his old teaching and the way you would talk about crypto versus what he says now. Guys, listen, you don't just totally flip your whole narrative, your whole view on life within a couple years, especially when it comes to like financial
You do when you're
literate.
getting paid, bro. That's when you
Well,
flip real
but he
quick.
doesn't believe it is my problem. It's intellectually dishonest. He doesn't believe what he's saying. He believes that, hey, I need to keep my job. I need to continue to get paid. These banks are greasing the skids somewhere, right? He's got benefits somewhere along the line to fight against all of these, to basically bring up regs that could be negative towards the crypto space. And I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
It's all about that money, right? It's all about getting paid. Whatever you tell me, I will say, right? Same thing happened with Elon. Same thing happens with a lot of these people. They just get paid and they'll do whatever they have to make money. And that's the
Yeah.
problem with any of these institutions and these centralized points of power is that they're easily corruptible. They're easily all just puppets, right? And they keep things that are a threat to them at bay by using their little powerful words because they're in a position of power and respect. So, oh, this guy
Yeah.
is speaking. We need to trust the science here. And
Yeah.
that kind of stuff just isn't true. It's just dishonest, and they're just abusing their power.
I want to touch on something that Matt just said. We all need to become experts in DeFi, liquidity pools, and staking opportunities in the
Yes,
coming weeks
sir.
and months because the bear is coming. And Matt, I don't think you have any idea how smart that statement is. Here, I'm going to leave it up for a second. So what Matt's saying, for those of you that are new, okay, Matt is talking about decentralized finance, right? He's talking about liquidity pools, which is ultimately providing liquidity and earning rewards off of essentially putting your crypto in place to work for others, right? And then staking opportunities, same thing. ultimately, those are what's the word I'm looking for? Where your money's working for. I literally I'm just spacing. Those are where your money's just working for you silently. They're
Passive income. Passive
income opportunity. Yes. And I think those are important. Thank you, Miguel. One of the things that we're doing in debatecrypto.academy, in our academy, right, where we're giving away the year of market cipher. One of the things that we're doing in there is getting involved as a group into some play to earn gaming, right? We're talking about some other opportunities as it relates to decentralized finance. And exactly what Matt is talking about are things that we are involving ourselves in, especially as we get to the point to where we think we are in the bear market. Why? Because unless you want to short during the bear market, which is ultimately an opportunity to do so, there's basically three options during a bear market. You can short to try to take money or try to make money. You can stack, right, which is something we'll be doing, right? Buying at really low prices. Side note, I think that's the best option overall, right? Stack, average down, call it what you want, dollar cost average, buy when those prices are low, right? That's the second option. And the third option is by taking advantage of passive income opportunities, exactly like you're talking about: staking, liquidity pools, decentralized finance, taking loans against your assets if you're in a good enough position when the markets are down. Matt, you're right, man. I love what you just said. It is absolutely important to understand those. And it starts with education. And that's the first thing we start with. When you jump into the academy, it's like, hey, go through the Crypto 101, right? Get a fundamental understanding of what crypto is. Read the Bitcoin standard, right? Do some things for yourself education wise so that you can make better decision when the time comes and things get difficult.
Yeah, we were just talking to the academy 2 weeks ago about Bancor. So if you guys want to do some research on Bancor and how to make passive income with that, go check that out.
Yeah.
But look, I want to bring this up real quick. Crypto Santa Claus, I love that name. Your thoughts on 25% off on Bitcoin going on at the moment, right? If you have a long-term vision, stacking sats is never, ever a bad idea, right? If you want to get rich overnight, Bitcoin is not for you. You're only going to be sadly disappointed. But if you have a long-term goal, a long-term strategy for retirement, you want to put your money somewhere where it's better than staying at fiat, right? Just getting inflated and devalued and taxed away from you through these invisible taxes. Park it in some Bitcoin, right? And long term, it's gonna outperform the S&P 500 how it has been ever. So this whole time, if you've been putting your money in the stock market versus Bitcoin, has been outperforming all of that. So just putting it there, even though we're having these corrections along the way, the macro view, Bitcoin is going up and up. Just look what Bitcoin was a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin, we're back at a level where Bitcoin was 1 year ago. Yeah, last January, Bitcoin was at 40,000. We are at 40,000 again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that right there would have kept your money way higher than what it did if you would have saved it in dollars, because the inflation would have eroded that percentage away. But if you go back one more year, Bitcoin was at 3,800. Now we're at 41 and we're freaking out, guys. It was only 2 years ago when Bitcoin was at 3,800. We're never gonna see a 3,800 Bitcoin again. We're not gonna see an 11K Bitcoin. We're not going to see a 20K Bitcoin. We're just
I don't think
not
we are
going
either.
to. We're just not going to.
I don't think we are either. I totally think that this is all we've got so much fear in the market right now. People saying it's going to go down, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. We've seen it in the past. When the fear gets crazy like that, it's generally a sign to maybe look at entering a position or buying, like a lot of these whales are doing. I think it's super important. Actually, something a little bit off topic here, but I really like it. With all the construction, Mike says, with all the construction in metaverse, I need to open a site development company and open a heavy equipment repair shop. Yeah, Mike, you know what? I know you're being sarcastic, but at the same time, almost any business that you can have in the real world, you're going to be able to have in the metaverse, right? One of the things Miguel and I have been talking about, kicking around the idea of a little bit, is buying land to ultimately use as advertising space, right? Because the reality is, as these metaverses get developed more and more, we've got companies like Disney, right? Getting involved and starting to build a metaverse. Guys, do you not think that that will be huge? Disney has cornered the market on basically understanding what children like, right?
Yep.
And that's and nostalgia for old farts like myself, right? I see old school, Disney movies that I watched growing up, and I say, you know what? Wow, what a cool thing. I want to check that out because the Disney name. Now, you're also going to hear a lot of people throw some shade at Disney for other reasons, right? I'm not going to jump into that, but what I am saying is that they along with many other companies are going to be diving into this metaverse thing. And yeah, I think that you need to be prepared to figure out what your angle is. Where do
Yeah.
you think you can
And,
fit in?
and one of the biggest, most profitable things you can do in metaverse, right, is being an architect. What does that mean? The person that designs the NFTs, right? Whether it's the frame that people want to hang up inside their metaverse house, the table that they want to put inside their house, the chair, the car, the shirt that the NFT people want to buy. Are creating that, designing those things, those designers are making a boatload of money. Why? Because the NFT projects are contacting those people to make those for available. And if you can do it for yourself and you know how to design, you can directly sell the NFTs, not just to the not just do project work for other projects, but create the NFTs yourself, open up your own shop and start selling all these NFTs, guys. So that is a huge profitable thing. If you guys have
Yeah.
any designer skills, definitely recommend checking out and creating stuff for the metaverse.
Yeah, and Mike said, buy a piece of land and build a DCA school tax write off. I love it, Mike.
Yep.
Listen, the Debate Crypto Academy, we love teaching. So for those of you that are wondering, like where Debate Crypto came from, whatever, ultimately, yes, we're going to be doing debates and getting involved in like heavier like debate type stuff. But the reality is, the debates are supposed to be healthy to help educate. If you can't look at two sides of something, it's crazy because the world that we live in right now, people are so scared to step on somebody's toes or hurt their feelings. Everybody wants to rub somebody else's back and not say anything to even like that. We don't want to push the envelope at all. Well, guess what? There are two or three or four sides to every story, right? And these different sides need to be looked at. We can't just be sheep and just follow right along with what everybody else is going to do. The fact is that if we do that, we will fail. If there's not people in this world that are willing to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not so sure that I agree with that. Or, hey, wait a minute, we're not educating people the way that they need to be educated. Or, wait a minute, cryptocurrency is now where this world is heading. Why is that not part of what my children are getting taught in school? Or, wait a minute, and that goes on and on and on, because life is changing, right? And so Miguel and I are trying to bring some of that education to you, the viewers, and that's part of what we do in our academy. So if you guys are interested, it's debatecrypto.academy. We'd love to have you. But great idea, Mike. He said tax write-off. I don't know that it would be a tax write-off, because I don't think that ultimately we would be it would be a for-profit business in the metaverse. I don't know if you can write it off the same way. I
Business
guess we'll get
expense,
in.
dude. Business
Yeah,
expense.
we'll get into that. I guess we'll have to figure that out. My accountant's going to love that. Our accountant's going to love that, Miguel. When we talk to him on tomorrow or whenever our appointment is, we're going to be like, yeah. And so we also wanted to talk about write-offs. We've got our company, and we're wondering, like, is educational and charity within the metaverse going to be a right? And he's going to be like, oh boy, what have I got myself into with
Yeah, we're
these two?
opening up a school. Oh, where are you guys buying the real estate? Oh, it's in the metaverse.
Yeah, in the metaverse. I mean, what do you mean? Where else? I mean, is there another place that you would think? And he's going to look at us and like, okay, okay, here we are. So, crypto fam, listen. Here's what we want to say. As far as everybody wants to know price action, price action, price action. Here's what we will tell you: we are positive on the next 10 years. And I know nobody probably loves hearing that right now, but the reality is, investments are a long-term game. If you look at the difference between starting investing at 18 and starting investing at 30, and you put the same amount of money in to an interest-bearing account, it's a massive difference. So the time to get in, was yesterday, right? And so I'm not giving you financial advice here. What I'm trying to say is these crypto markets they have the ability to change your life if you get yourself educated and get involved. So that's what needs to happen. Get yourself in that order. Get yourself educated, get involved, right? Get with like-minded people, learn. You'll make better decisions, and ultimately you're going to win. So, James, I see you, brother. I'm glad
What's
that
up,
you are
man?
here. I want to say hi to the rest of the DCA fam and everybody that's in the chat. Guys, real quick, if you haven't already done it, smash the like before we close out here tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. Here's what we want to say. The market could go up, it could go down, it could go sideways. But long term, you're going to win. I'm going to win. We're going to win if we get ourselves set up, educated, and in on the market. Now, let's hope that we push forward, push north from here. I guess we will see, guys.
Bitcoin's had many 40%, 30% drops in bull markets. This drop right now, I know Santa Claus Crypto is asking about it again. It's nothing that we haven't seen before. It is just, we are entering these extended cycles, right? The market cap is getting bigger and bigger, and it's just taking longer and longer to have these parabolic moves. And we're just going to have more little mini bear markets, mini bearish consolidation periods within this larger bull market that Bitcoin is in. It's just something new that we're adapting to right now. I know it's painful, but if this is the future where it's just these mini bear markets within this large bull market, trust me, guys, you're getting the easy end of a stick on that one, right? Having a multi-year straight bear market, right? It's like taking a shot of whiskey straight with no chaser. It is a lot more difficult to swallow. It's so much more. It makes you think about it twice. Versus these little mini bear markets within a huge bull market, it's a lot easier to swallow. Trust me.
Yeah, guys, the encouragement, the hopium, right, is that we're going to be headed back up. We've seen downtimes, and if you can utilize these downtimes to accumulate, you will win long term. Get that average entry point down. Just do the thing. Hodl, right? So we love you guys, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you soon. Just as a reminder, tomorrow, Tuesday evening, I am on Around the Blockchain. That's every Tuesday. That's BitBoy Crypto Show. Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to have you guys come over and give me a bunch of plus ones. Listen, I'm asking the 40 people in here, right? 39 people. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Can I drop a one in the chat if you're going to give me if you guys are going to get wild in the chat over at Around the Blockchain tomorrow with plus ones for CryptoKeeper, right? Let's get over there and let BitBoy Crypto and the crew know that you love some CryptoKeeper. You love debate crypto. We're going to have Miguel on the show soon. Guys, we love each and every one.